And Corral will throw it. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 45-yard line. McCaffrey running up the middle. It's David Ojabo there for the tackle.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Second and 9 from the 44. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. I certainly know that I, for one, would not like to be on the other end of a tackle when this guy's coming at you full speed from his strong safety spot. Boy, that was a nice play.
And one thing about a play like this, if it's slow to develop, it can turn out poorly. And this play was definitely slow in developing, and that was one heck of an effort to sprint over there and get the man down before he could make anything happen.
Third down, here's McCaffrey. And he's going to be a yard short. Needed 4, but got 3. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll run for it. McCaffrey. And he's not going to get there. Might have even lost a yard. Christian McCaffrey unable to get to the marker. And that could be a major momentum swing here early.
Because the defense stopped them. How great is that? They go for it on the first drive of the game. They're the ones trying to establish something, trying to assert a little dominance. And guess what? You turn it back on them and give the ball to your own offense. I agree with you. It could change momentum in a big way.
23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
Jackson's throw here taken in by Parker. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Throwing on second and long. Jackson. This will be caught inside the 10. It's a pickup of 19 yards on the play. And that's going to make it third down and less than a yard. Jackson will keep it. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. Here we go now on first and goal. They'll run with Dobbins. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, his 8th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Ravens are on the board first here this afternoon. Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we would be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
13 yards, first down, Panthers.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Options galore here, second and a few inches. Fakes the handoff here, Corral. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Ravens are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12. They'll go again with Dobbins. And he'll get about 3 here up to the 44-yard line.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for third down. Jackson now. Open receiver here, complete. It's Parker. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. He got 29 yards that time. So from Panther territory now, it's first and 10 at the 27. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10. The Ravens coming in looking for win number 6 on the year. And they come in off the extended break from the bye.
And I think it was much needed as well because you play 2.5 months. You know you're ready for some time off in order to get prepared for the home stretch. In fact, when they looked at the schedule to start the season, I think they liked where their open week fell.
42 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. I really enjoy watching Lamar Jackson run those RPOs, Charles, but I'll tell you what, it's tough calling play-by-play because you don't know whether he handed it off or kept it.
Makes you focus, doesn't he? You've got to try and stay with it, and even when we do, we often can get it wrong because our eyes naturally go to him because he creates big plays. But if you're
got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Devontae Parker, his first touchdown on the year. And the Ravens go up by 2 touchdowns. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And that'll make the score 14-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Out of the end zone comes Smith. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive, but at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer, and make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Corral. They're looking for Higgins, but it is intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And the Ravens are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line.
A tough adjustment to the NFL throughout his rookie season, and his problem with turnovers is only exacerbated by his early showing today. That's a couple for him here in this first half, and he's cleared the double-digit mark for the entire season.
The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Here's Jackson to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's C.J. Henderson picking it off. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered, they'd had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them, because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Corral. That is caught by Anderson. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 22 yards there, a first down. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he is going to lose yardage here. David Ajabo, credit him there. He fired across the line and planted him for a loss on the play.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Off play action. Here's Corral. Throw left side, going to be caught by Chenault. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Then he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Here we go with McCaffrey. And he's not going to get in. They stop him at the 1. McCaffrey turned away on 4th and goal. And the Ravens come up big down at their own goal line. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. They find some open field here. There he goes, right side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Ravens are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Tucker with the extra point, and it's now 21-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Play action here, Corral. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. Taken in at the 22. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. Room here to run. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Second half starts with a run by Dobbins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 191 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. He had a really solid first half running the football and picking up where he left off here in the third quarter.
How about the yardage he's piling up right now? This feels like a full game, not just this series that we're watching right now. I know people are screaming worthy adjustments from halftime on the defensive side of the ball. Sometimes they're just not there. Sometimes you just have to find a way to tackle someone.
Edwards now on 1st and 10. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That play could never get started thanks to the defensive effort of Shaq Thompson.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. They go play action with Jackson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
On 3rd down, Jackson. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 28-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Out of the end zone comes Smith. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Here's Corral.
Throw left side complete. That's Moore. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37. Well, this defense, they've got the 4-score advantage, and you can see why they continue to bottle up the run game, and really they've just been sharp in all facets here in this one, CD.
Yeah, they've kept that offense in check the entire game, and I think it's been led by what you just talked about, that defensive front, which has not allowed them to run the football and establish control of the line of scrimmage.
Well, that ground game just continues to struggle to really get any momentum in this ball game, Charles. And you're at the point here, third quarter, down 4 scores, probably going to have to put it in the air.
Oh, no question about it. So that's your only chance, your only opportunity. But think of the pressure you just put on your offensive line, because if you're a pass rusher, you're not even thinking about them running the football. All you're doing is getting into that springer stance and going after the quarterback.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. 36 yards on the punt with no return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Off the play fake to Dobbins. Here's Jackson.
Rolling to his right.
Targets Parker, and he's got him on the crossing route.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
That is definitely what we call a defense and uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end, Andrews. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A handoff running left is Dobbins. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
And the throw here caught by Devontae Parker. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 36. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Jackson. Looks for Parker, and it's intercepted.
It's C.J. Henderson picking it off. And the Panthers are going to get the football back as time will run out in this 3rd quarter of play.
Back now in Baltimore. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
On 3rd down, here's Corral. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Patrick Queen.
And they'll have a short field to work with inside the 15 at the 13-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore.
Devin Duvernay.
An 11-yard touchdown.
And the Ravens are closing in on a 6-2 start as they extend this 4th quarter advantage.
Tucker with the extra point, and that makes this 35-0 now. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. Silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny. I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
2nd down and right back to McCaffrey. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's Johnny Hecker now as he's on to punt for Carolina. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. They'll look to set up his blockers.
Found good room to run there. Returns it 14 yards.
And out will come the offense as they take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I
we
enjoy.
share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we can probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides.
Oh, for the third time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Picked off by J.C. Horn.
And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Well, they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Corral looking to pass, 2nd down.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Malik Harrison
Came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has, but in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense, I got it.
See what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
Here's Corral on 1st down. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. Corral on 2nd down.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey.
And the Ravens are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
The drive starts with a carry by Edwards. And some room to roam now. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the pressure legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain that time, but it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
On third down, here's Dobbins. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Charles, when you look at the stat sheet, you realize that both sides of the ball were so dominant in this game. And on offense, not only did they score it, but they did it through the air as well as on the ground. Everything was working.
And you know that the guys who scored the touchdowns, who contributed that way, who threw them or ran them, they're going to find our cameras and have a big grin for them. But I hope our cameras find that offensive line. How versatile were they? Move the ball on the ground, move people so they could run it, and then protected their passers so they could throw it.
So for Baltimore, the win form is number 6 on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for Carolina, it's a loss that could hurt them come playoff seeding time as they drop to 8-3. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Denver Broncos.